Good evening, friends. My name is Parthiv Shah. I am a business growth strategist. I'm the founder and president of elaunches.com, and I'm here with two of my best friends, Brent the Elephant and Shaukat from Brisbane. Shaukat is a economist and a technocrat. Shaukat understands money. Shaukat helps businesses multiply their valuation and create wealth. He has helped many businesses in Australia, India, and US, and he's a great friend. If you're interested, you can check him out on LinkedIn. And Brent is the elephant in the room who asks thought-provoking questions about marketing and finance that Shaukat and I get to answer. Shaukat, welcome to another episode of EITR Elephant in the Room show. And I believe today you come prepared with some questions Brent has been asking you, right?
Yep, Brent has been bugging me since you were flying over the Nevada desert with your family in a helicopter. You left him home, so gave me a call and decided to interrogate me while I was doing my marketing assignment for uni. So his main question is, what is a shock and awe box, and how can it help me grow my business? So do you use electricity or in your marketing, or what do you do? What's shock and awe box?
Okay, so many people call many things shock and awe package. So the word shock and awe actually came into power. If you Google shock and awe, it was used in media to describe American missile attack on Iraq before the American army moved in from Kuwait into Iraq. 340, 350 missiles were fired from aircrafts on ground and the oceans to onto Iraq to soften the target in the middle of the night, and then American army moved in from Kuwait to Iraq. That is where the word shock and awe was first used predominantly. The phrase shock and awe was adopted in marketing to describe showing up like nobody else and arrive with overwhelming force that cannot be ignored. That is what the literal explanation of what a shock and awe package is in business. I actually have my new client welcome box right here in my hand. I'll refer to it. We are not going to get into the logistics of designing, constructing, putting it together, or shipping on this episode, because today we are going to talk about strategy. But that's what a shock and awe package is. It's either a box or a packet that goes in a FedEx envelope. How can it grow my business? That's the question Brent is asking. Well, it is a salesman who makes a sales calls in between sales calls. When a packet of information, a box, arrives in FedEx, the recipient will probably stop what they are doing to open the box or the FedEx packet, look at what is sent, and spend time on it, because they know that the sender spent serious time and money putting it together and sending it. This box that I send out to people, out the door, cost me a little over $100. Right? So when it arrives, it has an impact. This morning, someone canceled an appointment and sent me an email saying, I got your box, I reviewed it, and I have determined that I'm not a right fit. I don't want to talk to you. I'm okay with that. It's not a waste of $100. I arrived at a final yes or no decision today instead of several months from now if I had to chase him down for a while. I mean, the guy makes multi-seven figures. He has a large team, 14 people, a financial advisor. He would have been a great client. I would have chased him with all my might. This box got him from top of the funnel interested to the bottom of the funnel where he gave me an absolute no, Parthiv, I'm out, don't call me anymore. I'm grateful that this box got me that. So that is actually what the shock and awe package does.
As the saying goes, money buys you speed. So if you have a lot of salespeople if you have good salespeople, which are hard to come by anyway, and you're going to make them chase down a rabbit hole because of potential high value prospect, only for them to be disappointed, demotivated, this small, inexpensive $100 does the work for you. And it allows you and your salespeople to focus on other high value prospects instead of chasing a rabbit.
Sure. So I follow a very specific formula that I learned from Dan Kennedy. And I have been building shock and awe packages for years. I believe the first shock and awe
How many packets?
I have built about 300 packets for 300 different clients or more, at least 300 that I can count. I've been doing this since 2010 or 2011 is when I first saw a shock and awe packet. And I created a shock and awe about shock and awe that describes what I am sending you. It was interesting. And so in the process, I dissected a shock and awe package. The first shock and awe package that I have ever saw that was handcrafted by Dan Kennedy was dentistry and diabetes. It was so back then, Dr. Charles Martin was my coach, and we were examining it, and that's kind of where the whole idea of everyone should have a shock and awe was formulated when in Dr. Martin's mastermind. And then I've been building this for dentists, physicians, lawyers, other agencies. I built a shock and awe packet in a box for one of my competitors who hired me to build their shock and awe to look like mine. And I follow this very specific formula. So here, I'll just do a little show and tell. This is a pocket folder. It has, so it goes in an envelope. When you open it, it has a letter that falls in your lap. Let's suppose, right? So there is a letter, there's a main letter. On the left-hand side, I'm going to stand up for this. Let me see what I look like on stage. Okay, there we go. Step back a little. Okay. So, so this is basically a pocket folder that goes in a FedEx envelope. So you get the FedEx envelope and you open it, and this is what you get. And you open it like so. And there is what we call the main sales letter. It's also called the master sales presentation. This letter has 20 pages. Yours can be 1 page, 4 page, it depends. It needs to be as long as necessary and as short as it can be. So my chief copywriter, Russell Martino, he wrote this letter and all the sales letters that I have. People read this, people buy. This is the salesman in an envelope. On the left-hand side, there are 7 brochures we will get into what each one of it does when I get when we talk about the logistics. On the left hand side, I'm sorry, yeah. So on this side there are 7 brochures. On this side there are 3. There is a gift brochure, and we'll get into what is a gift brochure. A guarantee brochure, we'll get into what is a guarantee brochure, and I have a blueprint, right, which is a step-by-step guide on what happens when we work together. So this is the formula and the framework. If you go to elaunchers.com/blog and search for shock and awe, you can actually read the formula in print.
Look at the box again while you're standing. Okay. Let's look at the box again very quickly while you were standing.
Oh, you want to look at the box, the whole box?
The whole, what does it come in? Look at the dimensions of the box.
Yeah. So
we'll create a separate video about the process, but just a general overview. What did I get?
Yeah.
What does it look like?
Sure. So this is the box, right? It's about yay thick. It is a little over 12 inches, little over 9 inches, because on the so it is printed, fully custom printed, front and back, inside and outside. There is my contact information and my logo right here. It has my picture, and I have silhouetted some white space where I can hand personalize the box with the Sharpie. So every time I send a box, I would use a Sharpie to hand sign a box. And what my office manager does is she would basically have a stack of boxes and stack of envelopes on my desk with labels already on it. I just have to look at the label, see who this is for, and hand sign this.
So you personalize the box that's already personalized, huh? You add a personal touch to something that's already a personal touch.
Yeah. It's A, it is cheaper than printing a personalized box. And B, it appears that I'm the one assembling it, but in reality, I just clicked a half a dozen buttons on my CRM saying I need this box constructed with these things in it. Right? So let me show you quickly what goes in here. This is a welcome box to someone who paid. So welcome to eLaunchers. It has the pocket folder that I showed you. It has the sales letter. Okay, so let's see.
There you go. Much better. Yep, that's it. Pizza
Like
box.
that.
Open it up. Yep, perfect. You got the
Right.
sales letter. You got the package.
So it would be like this. So you get that. You get the pocket folder with the letter in it. Letter should have been in there. I have a welcome to eLaunchers. And this is actually blank, but this actually is printed with your name on it. So this is first name, last name, welcome to eLaunchers. So this is a welcome booklet, welcome kit, because you paid now, welcome to eLaunchers. I have a strategy book, marketing concept and strategy. It has your personalization here. And we have a quarterly tactical operation plan, what we will do this quarter, client name here. So these are the booklets. And then I have some books. I have a book by me. I have magnetic marketing. I have a magnetic marketing book by Dan Kennedy. And I have a gift book, in this case, Almost Alchemy.
Every business should be reading that book.
This is how the box goes out. This box, then it gets closed, and then we put this box in a FedEx medium box, and then we drop it off at the FedEx. So that's how
It's a very elaborate presentation, right? So naturally, someone's going to say, this looks expensive. How much does it cost to send out? Now, you don't have to answer that right now, maybe later, but a lot of moving parts, you know, I mean, what does it cost to design, print? And why are we killing so much trees? What does it actually do?
Great question. So let me answer all of them. Okay, so the first question you asked me is, this looks expensive. How much does it cost to send it out? And how long does it take to assemble it?
And blame Brent. It's not my question, it's his question.
Yeah. So this box costs me about $100, between $90 to $120, depending on where it is going. If it's within US, it's about $97, $96. And that includes so the box itself, I buy it from FedEx.com. So they're printed by FedEx. So the box costs about $7.50. There are books, the pocket folder alone with everything in it. So I have about 86 pages total in the pocket folder. So this and the sales letter, plus the cost of the books that we buy, and everything else that is personalized printed, and the staff labor, and the cost of FedEx, all in, for me, this is about $97. If I have to send a Brent, so some people would get Brent, the toy, in the box, and so that add another $12 to that. We would I have a I have a case of Mont Blanc pens. So I would actually, if appropriate, I would put this in. Sometimes I would put a case and I would take the pen out. And then I would say, when we meet, I'll give you the pen that goes in the box. So
that's a neat trick, right? Hey, where this box is empty. Where's the pen?
It has everything except the pen. I mean, I would give them the box. I would give them the book. It has. I mean, it goes in the box and say, I'm looking forward to meeting you at such and such dental convention. I'm taking the pen and putting in my briefcase. I want to take you and your wife out to dinner, and I will present the pen that goes in the box.
Is this only for dentists and medical professionals?
No, lawyers. Anyone who, I mean, this just another couple $100 on top. It's just money. So yes, it does look expensive because it is expensive, and that's the look I'm going for, right? Then you ask me, it has a lot of moving parts. How much does it get? How much does it cost to get one designed, written, and produced?
And we're not all Parthiv Shaukat with his excellent copywriter and amazing team.
So there is a really good copywriter in Australia. His name is Parthiv. And I have seen his work. He has written several dozen shock and awe packages for Australian clients in Australia. And he is brilliant. I have 3 writers who are trained to write Shakana. Cost between $10,000 and $25,000 to have Shakana designed, written, produced, and ready to ship out. If you want a high-end, so we have had 2 instances where Dan Kennedy copy for the packet. So now you're looking at a couple $100,000 or more in copywriting. There is a Conquest Shakana that Russell Martino writes.
So let's talk about let's unpack that for a moment. $10,000 to $12,000, and straight away someone can say, "What? $10,000 to $12,000 for a box, a stuffed elephant?" So why do businesses even?
Why did you say 10 to 12? Why did you say 10 to 12,000? I said between 10 and 25.
Okay, 10
and that does not, and add another 30, 40, $50,000 if you're going to have a very high-end copywriter write your Shakana. Tony Polici, Joe Polish's brother.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you want him to write your Shakana package, add another. It wouldn't be 6 figures, but add multi 5 figures to it. So it is a non-trivial investment in building out an asset.
I think that's the main point. You're building out an asset. You're not building out a transaction. You're building something that's worth something and provides consistent communication and messaging prior to an appointment. It's a
How much would you pay a salesman for a base salary plus commission?
50 grand for a really low value salesperson. If you want a good quality salesperson, you're really looking at 90, 100 plus commission. And still you have no guarantee they're going to stay. There's no guarantee they're consistent. You're going off their experience, but that's about it.
Now, do you see how you justify the investment in building out this big asset?
Yeah. And a salesperson can leave anytime. Drop of a hat, then you've got to hire a new one.
And you know what? Post-COVID, this is even more relevant. You show up on Zoom and the box shows up. It simulates the in-person experience.
That's great, isn't it? So you've got an appointment, a Zoom appointment. You deliberately delay it slightly so you can have that lead time to send the box. Box shows up. They get an experience of you, a preview of the experience. So can you talk a little bit about how does it help with appointment, show up rates, engagement, ultimate investment by the client? Do you have any data on that? Any experience?
I do. How are we doing on time?
Don't worry about the time.
Don't worry about time.
Don't worry about it.
My concern is I'm running very low on battery. So I would like to begin winding down this conversation and record and take that question up on the next episode. I'm on the laptop. I'm at 4% battery. We will go as far as we can. Okay. I do have 2 camera shoot, so I can switch the audio on the second computer, but as a matter of practicality, I'm trying to hurry up. So the question was, what is the purpose of a Shakana, right? And when do you send it? I send it to people who book an appointment and it arrives in their hand before the appointment. Sometimes I would send it after the first appointment to arrive before the second appointment. My sales process is I would meet anyone for 20 minutes, and within that 20 minutes, we will decide if we are going to talk again. And we talk for an hour, couple, 3 times before deciding whether or not I'm going to get hired. So I need a qualified prospect to stay engaged with me over a period of next 2 or 3 calls, which will take a week or 2 to get to. So during that 2 weeks of golden period, I need them to have a top of the mind awareness, and I don't want them to forget me. So this box basically anchors that for the next 2 weeks, Parthiv is in your life. And he's going to help you do A, B, and C.
Unlike an email message, it's physically sitting on a desk. They're reminded.
You know, it's very hard to ignore a 20-pound box.
Okay, so obviously your computer died and you decided to hijack Brent's microphone since he doesn't talk much.
Audio.
So what were you saying again?
Yeah. So yeah, my computer, I lost my audio and video. So we are on, I'm going to borrow Brent's microphone right here. Okay, so what was I saying? Where was I?
It's hard to ignore a 20-pound box on your desk. So we were talking about that golden period between your first and second and ongoing appointments. You need to be top of mind awareness, right? Now we can send you emails as much as we like, but emails have a shelf life of about 30 seconds. A shock in our box is slightly more than 30 seconds. Let's talk about that.
So what I'm sending, remember I showed you the workbooks, and we are going to unpack the workbooks, and I'm going to show them on screen when we talk about logistics. My coach, James Malinchak, says we should not call it workbooks. There is another word that he wants me to use, action guide, or that there is a politically correct word, because workbook symbolizes work. But so there are fill in the blank workbooks that I send to them, right? And what I tell them is, you don't have to fill them out. But when we talk, I will be taking my notes in this notebook, and I will email you digital copy of it. You can use a pencil to follow along if you like. Okay. Here is why I do it that way. When someone take a pen or a pencil to one of your marketing pieces, that workbook or that action guide or that fill in the blank follow along will stay in their drawer for a very long time. You're extending the shelf life of your print material. People will throw away a brochure. They will not throw away a pocket folder that has 9 things in it. They might throw away a pocket folder with 9 things in it, but they will not throw away your book. And if you put all your stuff in a box, they will put everything back in the box, and box will stay with them for a very long time, even if they, so this guy who says he does not want to hire me and he canceled the appointment today, I don't think he's going to throw away the box anytime soon. 8 months from now, if he ever comes back, he would have the box with him. So that is, that's the idea.
So basically summarizing that, it helps people turn up to an appointment. It helps them to be engaged. It gets them prepared, right? Prepared to invest in themselves, because it shows that you are serious in leveling them up in whatever services you're offering.
Yeah.
Helping them solve their problems. So that's a powerful way. For $100, well, let's just say even 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. As some people will invest 100,000, 200,000 for the copywriting by celebrity copywriters. They do it purely because they get consistent. It's to drive consistent sales.
It's an investment in your future, right? It's a, so when when I work for a dental clinic, and if they have orthodontist, I would create a separate shock and awe for the orthodontist. So it's not unusual for me to create multiple shock and awe for one dentist. I'm actually working for a clinic who has their own sleep center. So I'm creating a sleep shock and awe for that particular dentist. I have done a separate shock and awe for pediatrics because you got to talk to moms differently. Ortho and Invisalign is a separate shock and awe package.
So we're going to go through a few shock and awe boxes. Interesting how you said we talk to moms differently. Right? You understand your customer, even though the end patient could be a child. So we'll go through in a separate video different types of shock and awe box and the psychology and the thought process behind it. Can you talk about, you mentioned how some boxes have Brent's cousins and others don't. In some boxes there's a pen and others don't. What's your strategy behind that? Why isn't there a uniform shock and awe box?
See, when I am hand signing the box, I'm looking at who I'm talking to and what else I want to do to enhance their experience. It's how much I want to spend, what experience I want to give to them. There are 4 types of boxes. A prospect facing box, a welcome to e-launches. There is an end of project celebration box. Here's a gift. We finished this. Congratulations. Yeah, yes. Hope this generates revenue because only finished projects give you ROI. Thank you for giving me a referral. It's a gift. And the gift has 2 shock and awe and 2 FedEx labels saying, here, FedEx it out to 2 of your friends, prepaid FedEx labels. And just an expression of gratitude wow box. Sending personalized brownie, personalized Yeti cup. It's a, what kind of experience, how eloquently do you want to express gratitude? Chiropractors are not allowed to send more than $14 on a gift. Every profession has their own weird little rules about you can't buy referrals. My profession, I got no regulations. I can do whatever the hell I want. I can spend as much as I want on my clients and prospects.
So would a shock and awe box be classified as a gift?
No, I don't think so. It's collateral literature. So what the first thing we do is when we take books, we would put we would put a sticker here. I'm going to put this in the video. See, from the library off. So I have a book by Brian Kurtz. It's worth $20. As soon as I put my sticker on it, the book is now worthless. So for the purpose of valuation of the gift, the whole thing is junk mail, therefore worthless. So from a compliance standpoint, you want to devalue what you are spending, so it is worth $0. Right?
Increase the perceived value in the eyes of the prospect.
Mont Blanc pen. As soon as you put e-launcher's logo on it, this thing is worthless.
Exactly. Okay. So there's ways to address and circumvent the criteria, set by associations around.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you're working with government employees, right? They are not allowed to accept gifts. But everything with somebody's logo is worthless.
Exactly. It's marketing.
It's marketing.
Not gifts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we've covered all the questions.
Yes.
That's a good point. So we'll create a video, covered strategy. We've covered why, the costs, why we're building an asset and not just your average promotional piece that you buy from printer shops. Next, we're going to cover a video on what the shock and awe box looks like, what is the process and psychology behind it. And then after that, we'll go through a video on the different types of shock and awe box and how they speak to the customer. Sounds good?
Yep.
Okay, did you want to add anything else?
Nope. This was very good. I'm sorry for technological problems. We went from 2 cameras to 1 camera, but show went on. So Brent, thank you for letting me borrow your microphone.
Cool. Now he can bug you since you're back. All right, let's finish off for today.
Yes. You know what, Brent? Every time I travel with Brent, I have to bring peanuts. That's what he eats.
Roasted or non-roasted?
All right. Thank you very much. And I will see everybody on the next episode.
All right.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye.